The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports.
All right, Coach, we have a perfect day for football. The roof is open, in fact, here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
How about that run? Picks up a 1st down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
To throw, Brissett. And he's got his man, Hilton. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That's caught out wide by Stills. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He completes this one to Mack. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing, Brissett. And the catch made by Hilton. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Let's go! Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bit. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. A look at the numbers from last week for Miller. 16 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. To throw is Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Brissett. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 45 on 2nd down, Brissett. Complete to Hilton. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision to him to pick up because of the timing of the route.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Looking to throw again on second down. Brissett, he's got it to Hilton.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Fights loose. Credit the tackle to DJ Swearinger.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, it's Mack. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Brissett. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. Cam Newton with 1 touchdown pass thus far. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Fuller.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that. Charles, defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it. It's Mack. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. 3rd and short yardage. Brissett. Man open. It's Cup. He's got it. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Brissett now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Brissett. Eluding the pressure right. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll run on 1st down. Mack. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Brissett sets to throw it. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll run here with Mack. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now Brissett to the goal line, but it's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, here's Brissett. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
It's a short kick here, fielded at the 24. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Colts to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Jacksonville, and they lead this one as well right now. Out in front here, they've got it 1st and 10. Third quarter starts with a run by Mack. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check 3. Check 99.
They'll go again here with Mack. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson dumps it complete to Miller. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Brissett. They'll run the screen with Mack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
Switch.
On 1st down, it's Mack. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone,
It got his man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Again, it's Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? A shotgun snap for Watson. He wants it all for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans cut into that lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Now for the point after. And he puts this one through. It makes our score 31-10. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the result, a Houston touchdown. out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 38-yard line.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also moved the sticks. They'll run on first down. Mack. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now a first down throw. Watson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but it'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Watson's throw here complete to Waring. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Staying on the ground with Mack. And he gets it down to the 32. That one a first down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Cooper Kupp, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. He's letting. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans are in for 6. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave one more off this lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. And really a lot of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number 1, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point, but that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup. First down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I'm coming. 49, check 49. Go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, that's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. From just shy of midfield, Brissett. And he floats one there, incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Switch.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 12-yard line.
Two times. Hey, 4 down. Let it go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
And they will take a knee here.
A loss of a yard.
And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Indianapolis, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.